6:02, we'll call the meeting to order. All stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so Dennis, probably a good idea to start with
election of officers, and
All
I'll just kind of as a point of order and background, the Economic Development Commission for Whitestown doesn't meet very frequently except when we have certain types of bond financings, of which we have on the agenda tonight. So I'm trying to think the last time that we had a bond issue that involved the Economic Development Commission, it was probably 2011 or so, so it's been a while. But that said, it'd be in order to first re-elect officers, take nominations. We're looking for a president and a secretary specifically, and then by default, the other member will be the vice president.
Okay.
I nominate Clinton Baum to, man, I got that wrong. Clinton Baum to be the president of the Whitestown Economic Development Commission.
All right, I'll accept. Seeing no other nominations, I'll close nominations. And I will nominate Eric Miller to be secretary of the commission.
I will accept.
Seeing no other nominations, I will close. We now have a president, a secretary, and by default, a vice president.
Yes.
All right. So we've taken care of the pledge, and now we have done election of officers. Are there any public requests to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item of the agenda, which is a public hearing on the aforementioned bond issue. So I will open the public hearing at 6:04. Anyone from the public wish to speak on the bond issue?
I would move that we close the public hearing.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion's adopted. Public hearing is closed.
Hi.
Hello.
I thought I'd introduce Terry. So now you can consider this item.
Go right ahead.
This is all happening because of GDI, and Terry, I think, Terry McCardwell is here with some pictures. Do you need an easel? Yeah, sit on the chairs. He'll kind of give his presentation to you, and we'll move forward from there. Terry, the floor is yours.
Again, my name is Terry McCardwell. We know one another now since I've been here before you a variety of times. Happy to be here and happy that you've got your little one with you, too. Fishback Creek Business Park has been some time in the coming, and we're excited that it's now ready to go with this bond financing. We're able to make some needed infrastructure improvements to 500 and some additional improvements. What I have here is kind of a rendering of the first building that we plan to build, which we're calling Building 2, which would be right there at 500, running north and south on the west side of 500. And we're proud of the building. We've done some things a little bit different. You can see in the precast with some of the design, abstract design that we've put in there. I think this will be something that's unique to Whitestown and really kind of unique to the industrial market in Indianapolis area. But we think it'll be a nice little bit of a flair for some pretty basic buildings. So again, we're excited to be working in Whitestown and appreciate all of the support and the assistance that you've provided and continue to provide. Happy to answer any questions if you have any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you very much. And what is the next item on our agenda for tonight? Thank you. Okay, so consider the report of the EDC concerning the proposed financing of economic development facilities. So, Dennis, could you walk us through, since as we talked about earlier, it's been a little bit since we've all gotten together like this, what the next steps in the process are?
Sure, President. With an EDC financing, the bonds are actually issued by the town. Now, procedurally, the Economic Development Commission is the body of the town government that first considers the proposed project and then makes a recommendation to the town council on whether to proceed with a bond issuance. Part of that process is the public hearing that you just held, and consideration of the project, and then adoption of a resolution that would approve forms of financing documents, which we have copies of here, and that includes a form of ordinance for the town council. Another element of the statutory process is that the Economic Development Commission is to prepare a project report, which essentially summarizes what the project is, the cost of the project, the expected wages and jobs, and whether any public services are required as part of the project. So that's the report you have before you here. Assuming you approve it and sign it, we'll take a copy of that report and we'll have to file it with the Plan Commission. And since this project has more than 100 jobs, we'll also file it with the school corporation in which this project's located, which is Lebanon Community Schools.
Okay. So to make sure, we would start with the report before we move on to the resolution?
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
Okay. All right, so is there any comments or discussions on the report? Thank you. What factors went into the creation of this report, Dax? Was this estimates from GI? Was this?
Yes.
Okay. And this is the full build out of all of the buildings in their project?
I believe
Not just
so.
building 2, but all the rest of the buildings, correct?
Full build out in Fishback Creek Business Park. Pretty good AV. Substantial. I think I ran the tax, your 400,000 footer is the first, right? I think I did the taxes right at about 4 million. Didn't do any abatements, which we've done. Even with abatements, the full tax paid in 10 years is like $3 million, 2.6 and $3 million based on our rate. Pretty substantial. Takes a lot of houses to equal what one industrial building will bring in.
Any other questions on the report?
No.
Then I would move for the adoption of the report as presented.
And second.
A motion and a second for the discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion's adopted. Report is approved. Next, we'll consider the authorization to execute the trust indenture for economic development revenue bond, Series 2017.
Commissioner President, if I may,
Sure.
and this may save some time, the resolution that's before you that's probably on the agenda approves the various forms of financing documents. The trust indenture is one of them. So if you choose to just consider adoption of the resolution, you'll have taken care of approving the forms of financing documents. And what the resolution says is it authorizes the officers of the town to go ahead and execute those documents
Okay.
with such changes as are approved by council.
All right, so if we adopt the resolution, it takes care of the last couple of agenda items that are broken out.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion on resolution?
I move that we adopt resolution number 2017-01, a resolution approving and authorizing certain actions and proceedings with respect to certain proposed economic development revenue bonds.
I'll second that. Further discussion, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion's adopted unanimously. All right. Any other business to come before the commission? Seeing none, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's adopted. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
6:12.